Tammy Abraham silences his critics with a brace as Frank Lampard gets his first competitive win as Chelsea boss. Watch until the end of this review to hear all of my thoughts on today's match. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my review of the game which took place earlier on today in the Premier League at Carrow Road between Norwich City and Chelsea, which Chelsea ended up winning by 3-2. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this review is that firstly, I'll be giving you guys the lineup that Frank Lampard fielded at the start of the match, then I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on the match itself, and lastly, I'll be giving you guys my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming Premier League fixture, which will be played next Saturday at 3 PM UK time at Stamford Bridge against Sheffield United. So without further ado, let's get straight into this review. So kicking things off with the lineup that Frank Lampard fielded at the start of today's match, and as always, starting off with the formation. Yes, it was a 4-2-3-1, and he did have to make a slight change to the lineup in which he went with, because Pedro did get injured during the warm-up before the match just started, and I know that does not roll off my tongue very easily, so he had to bring on Barkley, or he brought on Barkley for Pedro, and he went into the position in which Mason Mount was going to occupy. But in terms of the personnel in which he went with after Pedro got injured, he went with Kepa in goal. He went with a back four from right to left of Cesar Azpilicueta, Andreas Christensen, Kurt Zouma and Emerson Palmieri. He went with a midfield five of Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic in the two deeper midfield positions, with an attacking midfield trio from right to left of Christian Pulisic, Ross Barkley in the centre of that attacking midfield trio, and Mason Mount on the left of that attacking midfield trio, with Tammy Abraham up front by himself. So that is the lineup that Frank Lampard went with at the start of the match, and might I add again, after Pedro pulled up or got injured during the warm-up before the match. But yes, that is the lineup that Frank Lampard fielded at the start of today's match. Now for my thoughts on the match itself, and as always, starting off with the first half. I thought that Chelsea started explosively and put the Canaries under a bit of pressure. We did create a few half chances, if you like, in the first few minutes. After that, Tammy Abraham opens the scoring with an excellent half volley, and it was assisted by Cesar Azpilicueta after he received the ball from Christian Pulisic on our right hand side, and down their left hand side of course. It was a brilliant cross from Cesar Azpilicueta, and you have to admit that the cross was brilliant, because he has been getting criticised for his crossing in recent weeks, shall I say. But yes, it was a brilliant cross, and take nothing away from Tammy Abraham's technique, it was absolutely gorgeous. The keeper had no chance, it went straight underneath him, and I believe it was in the back of the net before he even dived. But yes, he made it 1-0 in the 3rd minute, but shortly after that, Todd Cantwell equalises 3 minutes after Chelsea take the lead. A great team goal, however there was a foul on Tammy Abraham during the build-up, and for me this goal should have been disallowed, and I will be elaborating on this later on in my thoughts on the game. But yes, they equalised. It was a brilliant team goal. They did have 5 players down our right hand side, and we therefore struggled to deal with the play. But yes, it was a good team goal for them. After that, both sides looked a bit shaky at the back after the Norwich equaliser. I have to admit that I don't know what was going on, but maybe it was the weather, because it was hot out there today, and maybe we just looked a bit sluggish during that period of time after they got the equaliser. But in the 17th minute, Mason Mount made it 2-1 to Chelsea with an emphatic finish. The keeper had absolutely no chance. He just smashed it straight into the top corner, and it's typical of him, to be honest. He's really good at that, and he had a pretty good first half overall. Timu Puki equalises for Norwich City again after some brilliant build-up play down our right-hand side, and down there down our left hand side and down their right hand side. Sorry. Great goal. Could Kepa have done better? Arguably, I did say this in my reaction video, but you can understand why he didn't get a strong hand on that. But yes, it was 2-2 when Timu Puki scored, and we should not have allowed him to get into that space. But again, Norwich City did swarm. They did swarm us down their right hand side, and it was good. It was good play from them. Chelsea had opportunities to get back into the lead, but they were not taken. Jorginho had a chance, but they did defend it well. Ross Barkley did have another chance He did have a chance to put the ball in the back of the net from outside the box, but he blazed it over the bar. After that, both sides looked to not concede right before half time, and the game did slow down for this reason, as well as the fact that the temperature was really high. It was really hot. My buttons are undone. It just shows how hot it is, or was, shall I say. But yes, overall, a decent first half from Chelsea. We looked threatening going forward and we improved in the defensive third as the half went on. But now for my thoughts on the second half. Chelsea started the second half exceptionally well. We looked as though we were ready to put Norwich City under a lot of pressure, and we did so to great effect, as they were not able to get out of their half in the early stages of the second half. Chelsea created a flurry of chances and could have, if not should have, been out of sight by the 60th minute. Tammy Abraham did make it 3-2 in the 68th minute or the 69th minute, whichever one you like, with an exquisite low drive, and it was assisted by Mateo Kovacic. And in my reaction video, I did say it was Ross Barkley. My mistake. I had to go through the Sky Sports blog just to make sure. And yes, I was wrong. It was Mateo Kovacic who threaded that absolutely sexy pass through to him, and he did get through both of Norwich City's centre backs, and he just fired a low drive into the corner of the net. It wasn't exactly in the corner, but it was a great drive. Take nothing away from him, and he deserved it. Chelsea had control of the match, although Norwich City did have a few half chances. Chelsea began to sit back and play on the counter-attack towards the last 10 minutes or so, and a quick mention to the substitutes. Willian, Alonso and Olivier Giroud all had an impact on the game after coming off the bench for Christian Pulisic, who else? Tammy Abraham, and of course Mason Mount, who did get injured. And like I said earlier on, I'll be elaborating on the earlier point in which I made about the foul on Tammy Abraham, which should have been given, and the goal that should have been disallowed. But yeah, they all had an impact on the game, and I'm not entirely sure what the formation was when Alonso came on. But yes, after that we did see the game out, and we travelled back to West London with all 3 points, which is absolutely amazing. Overall, a great performance from everyone on the pitch for Chelsea. Great goals from Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham, and we looked pretty solid at the back, especially in the second half. And what I was going to elaborate on, what I said I was going to elaborate on earlier, is what I'm going to make a quick mention about. The officiating in this game was absolutely shocking. Azpilicueta should have won us a penalty. It was a penalty. He got kicked in the knee. Tammy Abraham, he got fouled during the build-up to their first goal. That should not have been given. Christian Pulisic apparently conceded a foul in the second half when he didn't even touch the player, in which he apparently fouled. There was another one. Ben Godfrey, if that's his first name, shall I say, he clamped Mason Mount and he kicked him in the back of his knee, and somehow he didn't even get booked, or he didn't get sent off, let alone booked. Absolutely shocking. You can argue that Norwich City did have some decisions go against them, but some of the decisions that went against us today was just mind-blowing. And if they persist with this absolutely shit, sorry for swearing, if they persist with this shit officiating, then there are teams who are going to get robbed. But yes, that's it for my thoughts on today's match. Let me know what your thoughts on today's match are in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to respond. Also, let me know what your thoughts on the officiating are in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to respond. But that's it for my thoughts on today's match. I'm sorry for swearing. I'm really pissed off at the fact that some blatant decisions went against us. Now to conclude this review, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming Premier League fixture, which will be played next Saturday at Stamford Bridge against Sheffield United. This will definitely be an interesting encounter, as the Blades do like to use a back three system, or a three at the back system, whichever way you want to put it, and Chris Wilder does tend to instruct his two outside centre backs to overlap, and I do think that Chelsea should be able to win this game, and I also think that Frank Lampard will most likely have a selection dilemma if some more of our players who are out with injuries return to training. It is going to be a hard game, because we haven't played against the team who likes to use a back three system in quite a while. I believe the last time we did so was when we played Wolverhampton Wanderers in March. Maybe I'm wrong, but let me know about that. I'll do some research on that. But it is going to be an interesting game. Hopefully we win, of course, because if we don't, then we'll have to deal with Wolves and then Liverpool after that. After the game against Sheffield United. But yeah. Hopefully the atmosphere is good as well, because of course we're at home and we did just win our game against Norwich City, so the fans should be buzzing. But yes, that's it for my thoughts on our game against Sheffield United, and that is the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you very soon for some more videos. Come on you Blues, come on Frank Lampard, and peace.